guys, welcome back. This is Actually Anything. It's the podcast. It's actually about anything. And today, my friend James Arlowe is my guest. How you doing today?
Good, man.
Good. So let's talk about beginnings, right? How did we meet? I believe I was working valet at Clove Lakes, I forget the Stonehouse, right?
That's right.
And I think you used the valet for the same company, right? So
Yeah.
then that's how we sort of met.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you work there a lot, right? Because James is a I almost said magician. Well, I don't know. You could
sometimes.
Yeah. You'll play at your children's parties.
Yeah. Mostly adult parties.
Right. But yeah. So James is a really good guitarist. So he plays at this restaurant. Some others occasionally, just alone. You just do, for a little extra money, right?
I do those solo. Yeah.
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 So tell me, what's going on in your life right now? Because I know, you got your band going on, James Arlowe, James Arlowe and the Primal Daze.
James Arlowe and the Primal Daze.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Yep, that's right.
Your radio spot's coming, man.
It is. Well, with this band at least, I've been on the radio before with my other band.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your other band?
Well, way back, James Arlowe and the Ruffian Circus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay,
so
okay.
we were on the Rat.
Really?
Down in Jersey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
95.9 the Rat.
Okay.
A few times. Thanks to Maria Marr and a few other people over there. And we're also on 90.5 The Night, Brookdale's public radio, too.
That's cool.
And a couple other internet radio stations. But
Now, how do you manage to do that? Like, do you have to reach out? Do you reach out to them? You just send them a mixtape, or?
it was just connections in the scene. Just,
Yeah.
meeting people,
Okay.
you know.
So when you're touring with your band,
Mhm.
where do you usually like to go play the most? Which city?
Well, we've only done so many out-of-state dates with this band. But DC was a really great town. Is always a really great town to play in.
Where in DC?
This club called the Masons Inn. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
a
I remember
great
you
turnout.
you went to Boston like a year or two ago.
We went to Boston too.
And I feel bad because I was gonna come because I try to do photography for James Arlowe in the Primal Daze, but I'm not always like around or available. But I try to be as much as I can. And I remember like you guys wanted me to come. I felt bad I couldn't go.
Yeah.
But Boston's a cool city to go to.
Boston's a great city, yeah.
Now, where were you recently? You went to this place. I think it was in Pennsylvania.
We played Music Fest out
Music Fest.
in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
That's cool. Yeah. That looked like a really.
It was, yeah. It was a great time.
Where were
Played
you?
for a
Were you
great
near
crowd.
like a power plant or something? Because like all that. You know what I'm talking about?
The old Bethlehem Steel has been converted into this art compound, pretty much. So there's these new buildings that Arts Quest built in conjunction with some other companies I'm not really sure of. PBS has a stake in the game over there too. So it's really interesting to see the old rusted steel stacks juxtaposed with all these new buildings and new stages that are very, very modern.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful. They have almost like a Highline kind of park walk right underneath the steel stacks, and they uplight them at night, and it was really,
It just makes for like a really great venue, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
Do they have like concerts there in general, or just
They do.
That's really
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a big party.
Well, I think they have one or two big outdoor stages, and then in the Arts Quest building, they have the Music Fest Cafe, and that's on the top floor, which is what we played on a really nice stage with some great people, and they have a bunch of other. It's like a big maze in that place.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I wish I could have came. I know like Anthony went with you guys. He's basically your Anthony Callie's pretty much your new kind of what's the word? Producer, I guess, or like audio engineer, I guess.
Engineer.
That's a better word. Yeah.
So he's been helping us a lot with sound wise, guitar tech wise.
Right.
He's really like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, no, pretty
Yeah.
much, man. It's perfect. Because maybe you guys don't always have time to try to worry about all that, but now you have an extra hand, you know.
Yeah, and he's more than capable. Yeah.
Now tell me about I think Ed. So for a while it was just you, Brian, Steve, and Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just only like a few months ago, or a year or two ago, or Ed came along.
Just over a year at this point. Yeah.
And he's your new
July of last year.
Bassist or
No, it's, guitar player.
oh okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So Steve is the bassist, Tommy's the drummer,
right.
Ed's the guitar player, Brian's the keyboard player.
How'd you like meet all the guys?
Well, we first started playing. It was Tommy and I. Met him through Craigslist, and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And we started playing on January 1st, New Year's Day.
And it was just you and him.
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, just him and I. And then through Craigslist, I found Steve.
I didn't know Craigslist would be that useful for that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
For musicians, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Met my old band through them and met some other great musicians. You know, a few things that didn't pan out, of course.
Mm.
But, yeah.
Okay. What about Brian?
Brian I met through a mutual friend. Ed was a friend of Steve's that was coming out to see us. We went through a couple guitarists before him.
Is it always like a unanimous decision to be like, all right, this guy's out? Like, I don't know this guy. Like, what usually happens? Like, they quit, or you're like, you know what? This guy's just not.
It was a mixture
keeping
of both.
Up. Okay. Yeah. Just
Well,
want to make sure you get the right guy.
Not so much keeping up, but just wasn't the right fit musically.
Okay.
You know.
Just maybe wasn't in sync with you guys when you're playing, or just.
No, it was more. I think it was more influence-wise. You know,
okay.
And Ed just kind of fell in line with us on that.
I like that. Yeah. Do you think it's easier now for people to get like heard, to be heard, to get their music out there?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. You know what I hate? I hate these like rappers born like basically overnight. You know, kind of like Bad Baby.
Okay.
She had that little Dr. Phil thing, and now she's like a star.
Oh,
but
yeah.
And look, the only reason I hate it is because you and your band. I feel like you've been working really hard for years, and this girl was kind of like a spoiled little brat, but now she's like, you know, she has like all this.
Well, she's got to live with that.
She has like thousands of people showing up to see her, and like all this like fame. And look, I'm not saying
I don't listen to her music, and
no, me neither. But you know what I'm saying? It's just I feel like things are getting twisted around. Like someone like her shouldn't be having like a rap career now. You know what I mean? A lot of YouTubers too. They think, okay, well, my vlogs are getting boring, so I got to start getting into music now and rapping, and it's just so bad, you know. Like they have these music videos, and it's just so cringy. And
well, it's all turned into.
Man,
it's all turned into a game. Like it's just one. It's one big video game.
And then there's diss tracks and like people like dissing other YouTubers. It's like, bro, like what do you like?
It's one big video game as far as I'm concerned. You know.
Maybe this is all like one big simulation.
It most likely is.
Who the hell even knows?
Thank God Neo's coming back for.
I heard about
Matrix 4.
Yikes! You know, I can't wait, man. He's also coming back for Bill and Ted.
Yeah, I'm amped for that.
I
was a big Bill and Ted.
Yeah, no, so was I.
Yeah,
so was
I.
I've
seen those movies maybe 100 times.
Yeah.
Those two movies were brilliant, and
they really are. Though for their time, they were really good too. You know. And
it's a shame George Carlin's not around to reprise his role.
Oh, he played like the time traveler keeper, right? The doorkeeper. Yeah. Oh, he passed away.
Oh yeah, a number of years ago.
Oh yeah, right. You know, it's funny. I only realized maybe a few years ago that was Keanu Reeves. It was really? Like, and once I realized, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that was like hysterical, you know.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting because now we know him for all these serious roles, more or less, right? But playing like a badass, you know, like John Wick,
Speed,
right? So like
47 Ronin.
So to see him go back to this Bill and Ted goofiness, you know, like it's probably gonna be like really hilarious, you know. Like I'm gonna go see it in theaters. Like I'm ready to.
Oh, I think
I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of it.
It's
probably gonna be a little stupid, but like I don't know. I think I think they know what they're doing. You know, like why would they wait this long? To, you know,
Yeah, I think him and Alex definitely know what they're doing. And
yeah.
I think I have full confidence that
So do
it's
I.
going to turn out pretty good.
I like the whole point.
I'm just waiting
yeah.
for Beetlejuice too.
Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Why that?
Oh, I think Michael Keaton was absolutely brilliant in that movie.
Michael Keaton's in it?
Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
Oh, he is. I don't think. You know what, man? I don't think I've ever seen it.
You've never seen Beetlejuice?
I don't think I have.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
One of Tim Burton's finest works.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, I've definitely no. I knew of it. I don't think I've ever seen it. I know. I'm sorry, guys. Michael Keaton's pretty awesome. You know, he was the Vulture in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
one of them. Yeah,
and
he's a great actor.
Have you seen Birdman?
Yes, that I
That's a
did.
great movie.
That is.
Multiplicity, White Noise.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
With Bill and Ted too, I like the fact that they were musicians.
Oh
yeah, they were big like
Wild
guitarist, drummer.
Stallion.
I think. Yeah. And they were like that was like their best feature, like one of them. You know what I mean? Like they didn't care about school. They just wanted to fucking play like for girls and being like rock stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And I think that's a big premise in the new movie too. Like there's something with like this guitar that they have to get. And
oh,
it's
is
like
it? Yeah, I don't.
Something.
I
it's
don't
like
know what the plot is.
something like that. Yeah, like there's an interview with them talking about it.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty funny, man. You know, now that we're talking about this, is there any movies growing up that like really inspired you to be more of a musician? It's gotta be something.
I think movies, film, and cinema affect me on a different level than wanting to have picked up the guitar. Movies and film completely influence how I write, 100%.
Oh, see, there you go. Okay, so yeah.
Well,
so not really not necessarily playing, but like what you're singing about, like what you're talking about. Like.
Well, I think the whole mood of a song, whether it's a Jarmusch film or a David Lynch film,
right,
or a Fellini film or Cassavetes, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Did you like
just putting movies on and playing guitar, not particularly to the movie, but just playing guitar and, you know, just finding the vibe of a scene and kind of translating that into a song in some sense or another, you know.
I think he did like with
soundtrack
placement. I think he did a good job in that with like the Kill Bill movies.
Oh yeah, I mean his sound is
the Django.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the music was always like played at the right time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he's got that down to you know, a perfect science, if you will.
100%.
Yeah.
Have you ever like thought maybe one day you could do that, man? Like your music could be a soundtrack for like some sort of movie.
I would love
like,
to. Yeah,
that'd be awesome,
to do soundtrack work. You know, I mean, if you take Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man, have you ever seen it?
I don't think so.
It's with Johnny Depp, Alfred Molina, Billy Bob Thornton's in it, Iggy Pop's in it. One of my favorite movies of all time. Neil Young did the whole soundtrack for it.
Did you like the Dirty Harry movies with Clint Eastwood?
I did.
Those two. I love the soundtracks in like any kind of Western. It's
Yeah.
always like really fun, you know. Like,
all the spaghetti westerns.
So do you think like your music would be good more for like an action film or like an action drama or like maybe you wouldn't fit in like a comedy or like a horror, right? Well, obviously maybe not a horror. Horror is always like the weird piano, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think if somebody approached me and said, "Oh, we really love this track, we want to put it in a film," that's fine. You know, okay, here you go. But if somebody approached me and said, "Oh, we'd really love you to, you know, work on the soundtrack for this film," you know,
right,
then I would have no problem doing that.
Well, you know, for instance,
I have full confidence that I could do that.
Yeah, you could always you know, make a song. Maybe he'll pitch to you like, "Oh, hey, he'll tell you like the scene, what the scene's gonna be like, and you guys kind of create it. Maybe he'll give you like the script, you know, like so you're reading it and you're like, okay, so we play a song that should fit this, you know, that could be like really fun, you know.
I think it would be a blast.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's something I would always wanted to do.
Your song, New York City High, that's like one of my favorite ones, and I think any movie that would, you know, in the future that would film in New York, if they somehow get a hand of your song, I think it would actually be perfect, you know, if they would just had a guy walking through the city and just, You know, it just showed views of, you know, like some sky, you know, aerial shots, you know, like of the
guy, girl, or
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think it
Yeah,
would fit pretty well,
I
you
think
know.
it would be definitely, yeah. Well, I wrote that song.
Yeah,
Based,
what gave you the
based on a
inspiration for that? Just
Lou Reed quote
really?
saying that if you need more than two songs, two chords for a pop song, then you're pretty much playing jazz.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole song is only two chords. I wanted to make it as simple as
Oh,
possible.
yeah. Okay.
So I've even written songs
I
where
didn't
it's just
really think
it's
about that.
one chord the whole time, and there's just the instrumentation is just different over on top of it. So while one chord is just constantly playing, there's other things swirling around the one chord that are all in the same chord, but it's just different notes within the chord.
I feel like it's going to come to a point where everyone's just going to use a type of beat where, like, nothing's going to be that original anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a lot of that now. I mean, all the
pretty much, right?
You know, anytime I hear just like a four to the floor kind of like a boom, 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 boom.
Right. I mean,
just like it just.
I feel like artists could only do so much.
It makes
you know,
me cringe.
Certain piano riffs, like certain guitar riffs, like the drums, like it could only get to a certain point where, all right, someone's already done that. Someone's already did this. This sounds too much like that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know. Like some people find the way. I mean, you know, it's just clearly, but
well, I think it's about the translation of emotion more than anything else. I mean, because chords, there's only so many of them. There's only so many melodies and pop music that are accepted, you know, and
it's all about what you're saying. You know, you gotta speak from the heart.
Yeah, I think it's about the message. I mean,
yeah,
and that's
100%.
that's a lot of
100%
why music is garbage now. It's just like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah,
what
like,
are you?
They're talking about lives they don't even fucking have. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like what is the point that you're trying to get across? Like that used to be the most important part of a song.
Like if you were trying to convince us that you're an asshole, well, you did that right, I guess.
Yeah.
You convinced me.
Well, then I succeeded then.
Yeah.
And I'm a success.
It's weird, man. Well, that's what I was saying. You know, like I feel like a lot of these, you know, these so-called YouTube artists, music artists, they're using the platform for the wrong reason in a way. You know, like you started off as a vlogger, be that vlogger that people liked you for. You know, they don't be a music artist because you feel like you have to do more or because.
No, I get it. I mean, maybe they have a passion for it, and
yeah, you know, if you're definitely know what you're doing, yeah. Somebody said, but some people just don't.
Yeah, but if somebody said to you, "Don't do this, don't do that,"
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Then then you become like a dream killer, like the other people.
Sometimes it's just being brutally honest. It's like, don't do that because you're gonna make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
no, I get it. But
you're right, though. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but it takes a certain kind of a discipline to understand that this is what I want to do. Like, if you really have a passion for something, right, and you know you're not good at it, right, but you think you're the greatest at it,
then it's beautiful, right?
No, it's not. It's very sad. But if you really have a passion for something, and you know you're not good at it, but you say,
but it's like, you know,
I'm gonna get better at this,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
but it's
a
not
whole
gonna
mess.
happen.
I mean, I know there's a lot of garbage out there. There's no intent behind things, you know. I feel like a lot of that's lost. I mean, sure. There are a lot of great artists out there with that intent, with that mentality, but it's just like, you know, you go on.
But a lot of it's just for clout now, you know. Like a lot. People don't even care about the music anymore.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. People do care about the music, and people want. I feel like people want that. People need that. But what the brick wall is, right?
Pink Floyd?
No, yeah, we're all just a brick in the wall, baby. But the brick wall is that every time you go on YouTube, every time you go on Instagram, every time you go on Facebook, it's always the stuff that is people like the most. Yeah. It's not the stuff. There's no emotional. It's all based on data. You know? It's not based on on a emotional or psychological level. You know,
Yeah.
it's just all based on numbers. So it's always
Right.
it's
So like,
always a
because
numbers
something
thing.
has the most likes and views doesn't mean it's any better than like maybe
It's probably
something
even
that
worse. It's
has
probably even
a lot
worse.
less. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
So
point.
there's no weight to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, you know, numbers, 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 numbers. It's not like YouTube is like, oh, this is a popular video. This is gonna make you fucking cry. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like
It,
the AI
yeah.
in YouTube isn't like, emotionally advanced where it's like it felt something.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Where it's like this. It's not like a friend being like, you have to listen to this song, right?
Mm-hmm.
This song hit me so hard, and you went through something similar that I went through, and you need to check this song out. I think you're really going to connect with this song, right? That's not YouTube. YouTube is like, hey, this thing got 5 million views in the past hour.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
look
why
at
like
it
the
too.
YouTube recommended shit is fucking garbage. Like it'll recommend you like stuff you don't even give a shit about. It's funny with YouTube.
I just watch gear videos on YouTube pretty much.
I watch
Yeah.
a lot of vloggers and YouTubers just to get like ideas, to see like how I can make my channel better, things
Yeah.
like that. And, it's nice because there's actually people out there too that want to help you grow. Like they give you tips and advice and
There
stuff
are.
like that.
That's another thing about the creative industries. There's so many people trying to make a buck off of pyramid schemes, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were an
It's like a
okay,
monopoly.
yeah, like they were an okay artist, and now they're like, oh, check out my 25 points to success, and it's like, all right, well, I never heard your shit, and
Yeah, and I
know.
don't think anyone really cares.
and they don't even put their own music on the page. They just want you to sign up for their newsletter and then give them money for the
Exactly.
full course. Then you'll have the full course on how to be successful in blah blah blah, photography, painting,
do you get ads
music.
for that a lot too?
Always.
Yes.
And I'm just like, stop it.
I know.
Don't
Remember the guy? Here in my garage, my Lamborghini here,
yeah.
And it's like, I bet like that's your friend's house first of all, and a lot of people were doing that. Yeah, and like they still do it. I'll get like, they'll be like, oh, do you want to be this? Do you want to be that? And like you said,
yeah,
who the fuck are you?
Yeah, well, scamming is as old as time. But
yeah.
I think it all stems back to that post that was going around that really originated like 10 years ago, where it's like you could have 1 million subscribers pay for, each pay $1, and then you'll have $1 million, right?
Yeah.
If you have 100,000 subscribers,
oh
they
yeah,
give you $10.
So you need 100,000 subscribers to be eligible to advertise.
No,
right?
no. This is completely different.
Oh.
So if 1 million people gave you $1, you would be a millionaire. Right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Which is like
If
pretty crazy.
half that amount of people gave you $2, you'd still be a millionaire.
Yeah.
If half that amount of people gave you $4, you'd still be a millionaire.
I find it kind of nice. Like, even though I'll see people that give advice, they don't have a lot of subscribers at all. Maybe only a few hundred. So it's like, oh, why is this guy giving advice, right? Because like if he knows what the key things are to do it, how come he isn't big, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, should I listen to this guy? But then at the same time, I will, and like it's not like they're wrong. They'll say things, and I'm like, he's right, but
yeah.
But like, why hasn't it worked for him as much? It's
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, like I said, it's a numbers game. So if you know how to play the system, if you understand the system,
dude, it's all about like who you know too. You have to have like this.
Nah, it's all about numbers now.
Yeah.
I mean, to some extent, it is about who you know, but I mean, it's all about numbers. If some kid who plays, ukulele in a bedroom, in Sri Lanka, racks up 5 million views, right? Then obviously record companies or whatever are gonna be knocking.
Well, it's like the yodel kid in the fucking Walmart.
Yeah.
He was just singing and someone was recording it. Like, it could happen that easily.
I know, but he was really good.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
he was. The kid is really good.
He's mad good.
Right?
Someone did a remix where it's like boom, boom, and
Yeah.
he's like singing. It's mad funny. I think music artists make the most from YouTube because, well, no, you don't think?
No, it's.
I mean, they get a lot of views, so you would
it's the
think like
no.
they get millions and millions. So I'm assuming that's a lot of money payout. You know, like they,
Compared to
I don't know.
Spotify. I mean, YouTube is the absolute worst.
Is it?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Spotify pays out a little bit more than that. Apple Music pays out more than that. I mean, the whole tier is just it's really horrible. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
essentially you're creating music for free, and
yeah, basically.
it doesn't. It's not free to make the music, but then
yeah.
you know, even big name artists too.
Do you guys post on YouTube anymore? Your music or?
Well, we're gonna start posting more.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Might as well. Can't
definitely
hurt.
a game plan.
Yeah. Why not? So a lot of creators were getting flagged and copyright striked when like maybe they had like not even like a second of copyrighted material in their videos. Here it is. So YouTube will no longer allow copyright holders to seize a creator's revenue over very brief or unintentional music clips that appears in the video. It said in a blog post. That means that if a 5-second clip or the radio from a passing car appears in the video, see?
Yeah.
Labels won't be able to manually claim or seize all the revenue.
I get it. I mean, if you're a creator and you want like creative control over your music, you want to control where it's played, how it's played, right?
Now it says also, however, they'll still be allowed to completely strike or demonetize videos with short clips, which may result in more blocked content in near term, YouTube admitted. I also get that too, because if you're trying to make ad revenue, but you have like a lot of copyright stuff in one video, then you don't really deserve to make it.
Absolutely not. Let's take the flip side of that, right? So let's say, hypothetically, you're a dude, you make these alt-right videos, right?
Yeah.
This like, really cringy like bullshit about, white supremacy and yada yada yada, like just like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say in your video somebody drives by in a car, right? And they're at a stoplight for
and
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
But they had the radio on.
And the radio's on. And Elton John's playing, right?
Yeah, that's fucked up because now they're gonna get like
it's fucked up, right?
Yeah, it is.
So doesn't Elton John deserve the money from that video? Doesn't that content deserve to be blocked? I think 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So it's like
because it's also not that hard to just reshoot it, supposedly, unless you said something that was really funny and that you can't think of it again, or you know what I mean. But like at the same time,
but still, I believe that Elton John has creative control over his music, his content, right? I'm sure he owns his masters at this point, and he doesn't want to be associated with that,
right? That's true. This is my song. I don't want it in your stupid fucking video.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, 100. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point.
So it's just like a blanket kind of thing.
I recently, for instance, my recent video, I was talking about like Wu-Tang Clan, and I was talking about them because of all this things they've been doing within the past year, like 2 documentaries of Mics and Men. This one on YouTube you could watch, Wu-Tang's for the Children. They had a tour. I saw them live on my birthday. It was like amazing.
Yeah.
They opened the Wu-Tang Clan district in Park Slope, so they got their own right. So and basically I was just sitting in my room talking about it, right? And at one point I had one of the songs playing in the background, right?
Okay.
I did that. I also later on in the video I had they have this thing on YouTube. It's called like the desk or like NPR something desk sessions, or it's like these sessions and like different artists.
Tiny
yeah,
desk.
Tiny Desk. Yeah. And I had like at the end they were singing the Cream song, so I had that in there because it was like a lot, kind of like more of like a not a studio thing. It was like and I put that in the video too when they were singing.
Yeah.
And right, so I was just talking about them and stuff, but I'm putting them in a good light, but. Eventually, when I can monetize, I wouldn't touch that video. I know not to like go to that video and be like, oh hey, yeah, I want to make ads from this one.
Yeah,
Well,
I think if you get to a certain point where you have the leverage, then
I'll have to like watch. Yeah, I'll definitely have to.
Or it would be in your best interest to contact them and say, "Listen, I have this video."
But how do you contact them? Like
email?
100
ways, yeah.
It's. I don't think it's that easy, man. Like you know what I mean.
It is.
What about
easy.
artists that are dead though? You know, because like this.
Well, there are people who are in charge.
Supposed to go to the graveyard and be like, hey,
there are people who are in charge of their estate.
That's right. That's true. Right. What I'm saying is, I feel like if it was that easy, everyone would do it, but I don't think it is.
No, I mean it is that easy.
I don't think they're gonna get back, or maybe they'll see and they're like, well, I don't care about this kid. Why am I gonna? You could say, oh, hey, like you could take some of the ad revenue. I'm not taking all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you could split it,
you work out a deal.
Right.
For that.
That's true. That's true.
That specific video. You know, I mean, you got to do right by the artist. You know, let's say at that point you have 5 million followers, right, and you're getting hundreds of thousands of views a day.
Yeah.
Right. You want to do right by that artist that you love, and you want to say, hey, listen, I did this video, I got all this content here, let's work out a deal. And I think that's the right way to do it. And I don't think there's enough people who are creating content constantly, right, where they're using, other people's content that they love, whether it's like they make like fan lyric videos or, they're not reaching out to the artist, and saying, hey, listen, I made this video, I used your lyrics, your music, but all the video stuff is mine, right?
Right.
And then they're making a deal and doing a cut, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, okay, so 2/3 of this video is yours, and 1/3 of it's mine.
Right.
And, as far as the video goes. And if the artist is like, oh, okay, that's fine, blah, 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 here's our deal, And I don't think enough creators are reaching out in that extent, especially people who have more of a clout.
That's true.
They're
just doing whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. And they think it's just like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, oh, you made this, now it's mine, and I put this to it, and now it's all mine, and I'm entitled to everything.
If I ever do get to that point where I could advertise,
I think it's responsible.
It is. It's only like it's respect too. It's out of respect for the artist. Like if you really want to have their music in there,
exactly. If you
must like the guy,
if you love the artist, right? Then you would do that.
Yeah. I would.
You would reach out and say, "I love your music. I made this, fan video, blah blah blah."
Now a lot of people get like sponsored for stuff. It's funny, like a lot of people. Well, not that like they're basing the video around the whole thing. They'll do like a little like ad spot for like maybe like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like some of them talk about like some of them Dollar Shave Club. They talk about that.
Well, they get paid.
SeatGeek.
But they get paid
like,
to do that.
Like this guy David Dobrik does that a lot. He's like, yeah, it's sponsored by SeatGeek. Check him out.
Yeah. You
get your best tickets. Mm-hmm. Enter my code name, David Dobrik. You get 20% off, or you get like half off your first ticket.
Yeah, they get paid. They get paid to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. But you know what's funny? That's where I think they're getting the most money from. Not really from YouTube.
Well, advertisements, yeah.
Yeah.
But those are sanctioned. Like,
yeah.
It's not like getting back to the point of the content.
Actually,
videos.
I was wrong.
Right.
They're not making the money. Like you said, like the advertisement money is kind of shit. They're making more money from like things they sell. So like. This guy PewDiePie.
Oh, a fucking hat salesman. That's all he is.
Yeah, he said it. He said he's like I'm like a glorified like hat salesman, and like he sells a lot. That's why a lot of these guys sell merch. Like because that's where they're getting their money. Exactly. And I think that's straight money. I don't think they get anything. So like if they put the price $40, they're getting $40 now.
No, that's not necessarily true. I mean, it depends.
Oh well, to put it on YouTube and to.
Well, if they're doing print on demand, then.
Oh yeah, they're getting like the website's getting because you have to have like a website holder to have it.
Well, no, whoever's doing the printing is getting a cut, and then you get I mean, you get a substantial cut of it,
right?
But you're still giving away a cut.
Eventually, I would like to make merch myself, for this podcast. Have actually anything written on maybe like a white shirt or a blue shirt because the letters are blue.
Yeah, well, like I was saying before about the print on demand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's easy to do because it's free to. There's a ton of different providers where you could just upload your design,
Vistaprint, for instance. You heard of that?
Yeah.
I
I
love
mean, I
that.
don't know if they do print on demand. I'm not really sure as
Oh.
far as T-shirts go, but
No, I think so. I mean, they literally like off.
they might
So
do.
when I got business cards made on there for
Yeah.
my photography logo,
Yeah.
when you're going to checkout, they literally offer you all these other things you could put your logo on, like
No, yeah.
mouse pads, pens, like the craziest stuff. I think shirts were some hats. They said hats too, so I think
Yeah.
they said they had shirts also. Um, even like beer. I think they had beer mugs, like literally like everything. It was like ridiculous, but yeah, Vistaprint's pretty cool for that. But yeah, man, YouTube is it's a weird thing. I just if you really care about like what you're doing, you have to do it more for like the fun of it and because you like making videos and then
Yeah.
and like you see this in like like a lot of other YouTubers will just say tell their fans like do it because you love it, don't do it because you
Yeah.
want like
Well,
some like
well, I
you
mean,
know
there's a few.
because if you don't have a drive for it, then like it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple YouTube videos that I look to as far as like audio engineering wise and stuff
Right, so
like
you can
that
learn
that are really
about
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like Warren Hewart and Rick Beato and Eric Valentine make some great videos. And they really like these guys are industry guys that know their stuff. It's not like some 25-year-old kid that's been in the industry for like 3 months and is saying like, oh well, you need to cut the EQ here,
Yeah.
and blah blah, blah.
Yeah,
Just
like some
like textbook shit.
yeah.
It's
like
like these guys know they've been through the battles, they've been through the wars,
the ups and downs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They know their stuff and they know what they're doing.
100%, man.
And even like the mix with the master stuff is great.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you're in luck because you have Anthony Callie and he's like I think he graduated, but he literally like went to school for audio engineering, so he knows exactly what he's doing.
Same school I went to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
SAE.
When I was at college, I had a minor. So you could have a major and a minor, right?
Yeah.
And my minor was music technology because I had no idea what to pick, but it was new at the school. I was like, oh, why not? And that's how I got to work with like what was it called? Logic? Yeah, it was Logic. Logic Pro.
Logic's fun. I mean,
tons of fun. Yeah.
You could do a lot of stuff with Logic. I mean, Logic is more of
You use that a lot, right? To edit?
No, I don't really use that
Pro
at
Tools,
all.
right?
I use Pro Tools now strictly.
I use that for like radio. When I was like in my radio classes.
I shouldn't say strictly. I use it for. I also use Studio One too, and that's a good program. But Logic is, it's its own beast.
It's
where
cool.
I mean, especially with the MIDI mapping, you can make all kinds of sounds,
weird,
weird kind of things, like just by putting
amazing.
all these. I mean, you pretty much have a blank slate, and I've seen, like electronic musicians and producers like just go ham on that stuff,
So when I was there, I took it for like 2 semesters, I think, and I had 2 different teachers. Yeah, so like a lot of assignments we had was just to like edit, sounds and just mix and master stuff. Yeah. The only hard part about it is that the only time we could do it was there, so we couldn't go back to our dorm room.
Oh, so
because we needed the Logic for it, so like we couldn't you know what I mean. We couldn't just go back to our room and
the good thing about SAE is that they give you a computer and an interface, and they give you Pro Tools.
Oh, see, that's cool.
And they give you Logic, and you get to do all these projects and get to know the programs, on your own.
Yeah.
Because it's about loving the craft of it. I mean, aside from being a musician, that's a whole nother love that I have is, just capturing sounds and manipulating sounds and
the whole editing process too. It's a whole other.
Editing is okay.
Yeah,
it's a love-hate relationship.
Same when I'm editing videos. It's like sometimes it feels like it's a chore, like it's homework that I don't really want to do.
Yeah.
But then once I'm like halfway through, maybe almost done, I'm like, you know what, like okay, I like how this is. It's.
Yeah, I mean,
because you got to do it at some point.
Exactly. I mean, the editing process can be tedious.
Yeah.
And feel unfulfilling. But once you have, the the basic foundation for, each track done,
Right.
and then you have the whole picture. Then you can really start to mix and
Mm-hmm.
really start to be creative with it.
Right.
If the editing process hasn't beaten you down already,
Right.
Because a lot of the guys who do the mixing at the higher levels, they have somebody to do. They have somebody to do all that shit. They have somebody to, do all the edit all the drums, edit this, time align everything's phase coherent.
Yeah.
And that's a luxury that they worked up to. They were those guys at one point. I love gear. I love.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I had a good time working with that
super big gearhead, and the way different components create different sounds, the way different circuits create different sounds, and I don't know, it's just something that I love.
It's really messed up, that area, the room we used to work in, where they had all the MacBooks and where we would meet for classes and stuff. So like I said, we didn't have it to go back to our rooms and just work on it. So they would leave the door open so we could go back and at our own time. And there would be a deadline. We have to go. But the fucked up thing is, like, it wouldn't be people that was in our class. It would just be like random assholes that would be in the building. They were going into there and stealing stuff. Not like the whole MacBook, because they can't just pull that out.
So like the
but
interface or
like the little recording devices. Like they're not like the. They got. I know it's got like a weird name.
Little recording device.
It's got like the two. It comes out.
Oh, the Tascam.
Something like that.
Tascam one with the two microphones.
Yeah, and they kind of like point to each other.
XY.
Yeah. So they had to like lock it up now, but now it was harder to go back. As we would go back, we would have to like find someone to open it for us. We couldn't just.
Oh, really?
And there was one time where I couldn't go because there was just no one up there. So I couldn't do my fucking work.
Those pain in the
people
ass.
are dicks.
Yeah,
But
one bad apple ruins it for the whole fucking bunch, man.
That's the thing about college. I'm not gonna get into about like the whole thing about college, but in the terms of like choosing your major and minor, that's what the whole college experience should be like, So like you pick your major. Now you have to take classes in your major.
Well, I went
you pick your minor. You take classes in your minor.
Yeah.
So everything else you should be able to pick too. Like you shouldn't have to be required to take like math and science and history when it has nothing to do with your major at all. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with a well-renowned education, but at the same time, if you're not becoming a math teacher, if you're not becoming a chemist, or like, why do you have to take these?
I mean, classes? I get it. I mean, I went to a specialized school for that reason.
Yeah.
I was like,
just go for your field. That's why
I don't want to take these bullshit classes.
Yeah.
I really always was recording ever since I was a kid. Like, we had this karaoke machine. It was huge. It was like this, right? But it didn't have like the words on it. Like, it came with like one blank tape, or no, one tape with a bunch of songs on it with no vocals on it. Just like songs everybody knew.
Right.
But it had and it had a speaker, came with a microphone, and then it had two.
So your birthday present?
A two cassette deck.
Christmas gift present.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's pretty cool though.
I think it might, because we got like, it was like everybody got their individual gifts, and then it was like a gift for everybody. A couple gifts for everybody. For like me and my two brothers, it was like, okay, here's gifts for you, here's gifts for you, here's gifts for you, and then here's gifts for all three of you. Like, you know what I mean? And then, so we got this karaoke machine, and it had a 1/4-inch input on it. It had two cassette deck, one playback, one record head. I don't know where those tapes are, but I would just record demos on those, like, and do overdubs, because I could just play one and then record over on top of it. So it was like, that was my first taste of like recording, and this was like a kid. When I first started playing guitar. Well, I started playing guitar when I was 6. My uncle, who's really great guitar player, great guitar player, gave me a guitar, and I was just like,
it's usually from like a relative,
just like bashing on it, and I remember playing in the basement, just by myself, just strumming on the thing for hours.
So it seems like
And
you
then-
always knew what you wanted to do, you know?
It was just something that I always loved doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, man.
And then I finally, but
Yeah.
then, you know, I outgrew that, and I really wanted to play guitar, and it was just like,
It's good that you
No,
found it at a
not
young
yet.
age, you know? Like, you
yeah.
know, some people
And I kept
never
yeah.
find out what they want to really do in life until, like, until it's, like, too late, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's cool. And then you would just fuck around with it, you know?
Yeah. And then I really wanted to take it seriously,
Mhm.
and my parents were like, no. And then finally, when I was like in 5th, 6th grade, they finally got me a guitar. So I wanted one of those guitars that had like the speaker in it. You know, like
okay.
it was like a Toys R Us guitar, and every time
Yeah,
every time I went to Toys R Us, I would just go to that. Like that was the first thing I went to. I was like, "Can I have this? Can I have this? I want this. Can I have this?"
That's
Then
funny.
I have to settle for some fucking action figure because that's really all I wanted was that guitar. You know, I never wound up getting that, but I wound up getting something better. And then in like 5th grade, I got a bass and was playing that, and I was happy. My brother got a guitar that Christmas. He barely ever played it, so I picked that up too, and then just started learning how to play songs on that. You know, the internet. You know, AOL was, you know, fucking booming at that
AOL
point.
Messenger. Remember that?
AIM, yeah. So then there were sites where you can get the tabs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then it was just like, okay, play by ear and the tab and, you know, yada yada yada, and then just kind of, you know, moved on from there.
We see, you know, that's like also going back to what I was saying earlier. I feel like nowadays it's definitely easier to get like heard, to get your music out there. But you know, back in the day, like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, the Who, they kind of relied on just playing live all the time, and you know, having to play.
That's where the people were. That's what people
going to radio stations and.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't have the internet. They couldn't just say, "Oh, hey, go check me out on YouTube." You know, like it was. I guess it was harder, but
no, I mean,
don't know.
Not really, because
they were making a new sound at the same time too. Like it was.
Yeah, but people went out. People went to concerts. Like that was
right.
Like it was either sit at home and look at the clock and read a book, or go to a rock you know.
Yeah, there wasn't
go to a concert. You know what I mean?
Point. Yeah, that's true. There wasn't much to do at home, I guess. Like everyone always wanted to.
Yeah, I mean,
like
well, back then, I mean, few houses even had television, and even if there was television,
TV, you know,
even if there was television, it was a couple channels, and
yeah,
and then at 10 o'clock, that's it. No more TV. Like the channels just stopped broadcasting at 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, it would just be like yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that, man.
I mean, I wasn't around for that.
Oh, thank God, right? That sucks.
But it's like,
it's crazy.
It's either you went to, like, if you wanted to do something, you went to the movies, you went to a concert, whatever. So there was constantly people at these clubs, you know, because it was like, all right, well, am I going to be a dud and stay at home
and just word spreads?
Listen to the radio.
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
These guys out, they call themselves the Beatles, you know, 4 guys.
So I mean, like the cream rose to the top. Then now it's just like, I mean, well, literally the cream rose to the top too.
Yeah.
But you know, now it's just like, it just floods.
Oh my
it's
God!
A fucking flood of stuff, and it's just so overwhelming, and it's just
I know
constant.
You know, yeah, and
I think it was something like 400,000 new songs are uploaded to Spotify a day.
Just these small artists trying to.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody's trying to do it though, you know.
That's why, you know.
But that's why then it's a double-edged sword because you make your money playing live.
Yeah.
But if nobody's going out to fucking rock concerts anymore, and everybody's going to clubs with DJs, you know,
it's discouraging.
But it's also different in each market too, because there are markets down south where people like, you know. I really actually hate that I just said market, but you know there are places down south, out west. That's what people live for, you know
right?
What I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Music is I feel like the world wouldn't have survived as long as it has without music. And maybe that sounds
Yeah,
a bit
that's true.
extreme, but think about it, you know?
Yeah.
Think about what music has done for this world and this life and everybody's life in general, you know?
I mean, the only reason I say outside of New York is because of so many clubs that have closed over the past even 5 to 10 years. You know, because they're getting priced out of their uh, leases.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
and that's a huge problem. Like it used to be just like, oh, you want to open up a club? Okay, whatever. Like give me $1,000 a month,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
do,
like
do
rent
what you
is
do,
like ridiculous
do what you
now.
do.
Yeah.
Now it's like, $70,000 a month.
Well, people can't even afford to like move out of their fucking parents' house anymore.
Some people,
Yeah.
some people can't. And it's like, rent for a spot that used to be halfway decent that's now like, overdeveloped
Up and
in
coming or
Manhattan.
yeah, bustling. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So it's like
It
pay me
blows.
no rock club or music
Like
club
no one has that kind of money.
can afford
Yeah.
to $70,000
They're
a
greedy
month.
fucks, man. They're a bunch
Yeah,
of
it
greedy
is.
fucking
Well, it's
pigs.
everybody. Yeah, people who own these properties are
know.
like, well, because then they're like, all right, well, then it's
We'll find the next guy that maybe has that money.
well,
but it's
no,
like,
because then they can claim it as a loss,
oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's like nobody's in there. It's a loss. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Hmm.
Then they hold out for like Starbucks or some corporate fucking place
Yeah,
to move
right.
in, and it's just like
And now we have another fucking Starbucks we don't need.
exactly. I don't even like
Another
I don't even like their fucking coffee.
Like another fucking McDonald's, like fucking
Yeah,
disgusting ass.
because they can afford to pay.
You know how many banks we have on Staten Island?
They can
Jesus
afford.
Christ.
They can afford to pay $70,000 a month in Manhattan.
All right.
You know, like.
But like, yeah, banks too. Like, there's too many banks.
And
Okay.
banks too. They can afford to pay the
You know why?
$70,000.
Because it's a fucking bank.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking ridiculous. I'm sorry with all the swearing I'm doing.
Nobody
It's just pissing me off.
Nobody cares. Like these property.
No one cares about the little guy anymore. You know, like.
Well, it's about the property holders. Like they just want to make the fucking money. They just want to make more money. They don't care about anything else.
We're in this age where like things are a lot easier to do and also a lot harder.
Yeah, they don't care about the mom and pops.
No.
Especially in Manhattan. Like it's just like corporate. If you got the money, it's put up or shut up as far as money goes, and it's always been that. But now it's just like, exponentially worse. It's lost so much. It's
becoming so competitive and just
lost so much
too crowded and just.
Well, no, I mean it's always been competitive. It's always been crowded, but it's lost the character.
Yeah.
There's still a part of it that's and there are pockets of it that are unique where it's owned by individuals. The franchise really fucking killed New York City, right?
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
Franchises killed New York City, and think about it. Franchises didn't really come around until McDonald's. Like they were one of the biggest franchises that really came in and whatever. And then Starbucks came along, Dunkin' Donuts came along, KFC, Burger King, Wendy's. I mean, I love Wendy's. Please sponsor me.
Me too.
But franchises killed New York.
Yeah.
Because then everybody's like, oh, they got that franchise money.
It's becoming too commercial, I guess, But
it is. Yeah, because there were so many individual shops that were just like, it was like, all right.
Like family oriented, like kind of small.
Yeah,
little, yeah.
Like artisans.
I love B&H though. B&H is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's not really a franchise though.
Well, it's like, you know what I mean.
Huge company, but not a franchise.
No.
Like each neighborhood had the butcher. Each neighborhood had the fishmonger. Each neighborhood had the leather guy. It was like that in each neighborhood.
Yeah.
Each neighborhood had a laundry person.
Everything's just like all over the place.
Laundry person.
Yeah.
It's like, well, especially down on Prince Street. Like that's where my grandfather grew up on, and he was a tailor, and he wound up, cutting clothes for Mickey Mantle.
Wow. Oh shit.
Joe DiMaggio. He became really good friends with Yogi Berra. Like, yeah.
Wow. Look, don't get me wrong. I love being in New York. Eventually, I would like to move, but maybe California. I don't know. It's just hard to stand out. I do these things like this podcast. And you know how many people are doing a podcast now, especially like in New York? You meet every guy. Everyone has a podcast now. And it's like, do people even give a shit about like what I'm doing, you know? And I feel like
Yeah,
photography
people
is
do.
the best thing I got going for me. Because like that's like the
Yeah.
one thing where I know I really could stand out in, and like where I really feel like I could be different in. But like doing,
Yeah.
you know, but my YouTube videos, it's a little harder, you know? I feel like a lot of people already really know what they're doing with that. Like so do people in photography, but I feel like I'm at that level where I mean there's always room for improvement, but in photography I just feel like it's something I already know my way around and how to do angles
Yeah.
and you know and just poses and just everything
Yeah.
but like YouTube like there's something like with videos I started at a lot later, you know, so it's something where I have a lot more to learn with that and like it's I don't know, and like I said in the podcast, like I love doing this. You know, that's why I'm gonna keep
Well, you
doing
gotta
it. But
follow
it's all about what
follow
you
your
love.
passion. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so at the
You
end
know.
of the day, it's
I'm not worried about what everybody else is doing. I don't.
right.
I give two shits what anybody else is doing. Really, to be
I
honest
think
with
that's my
you.
problem. I care too much about like what people think of me. Almost. You
I
know?
don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. I don't.
Good.
All that matters is to me
Yeah.
is
Just don't be self-centered. You know, like
all
right?
that
No, of course.
all
Not,
that
yeah.
matters to me is creation. Like
Good.
I'm worried about creating whatever the next thing is. Not like
Yeah.
thing, but you know,
Well, that's what I like
just
about like
creating.
yeah.
Like I want to
Yeah.
create something for myself, and then create something for myself again, and create something for myself again. Like I don't like it's a competition.
Well, that's
with
what's
myself.
great about art.
It's
You
like,
know, photography's art. Making
yeah,
videos is, I guess, is art. You know,
yeah,
it's all stuff where I show my creativity too. You know, and that's where I
yeah,
feel like I express myself.
yeah. I mean, I don't really
Most.
concern myself with anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I have my band and my nucleus, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
we're a world onto ourselves.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out. So there's this new app that I'm on. It's called Rumble. And so we're in that new wave of like short videos, right? Like Vine was like out, and a lot of people got famous from that. You know, like making like quick, short 7-second video. But then this thing TikTok is out now. I'm sure you heard of it.
I have.
It sucks. It's like so. It was first Musical.ly, but it was just music. You make a video and you don't hear anything. It's just music. But then
Yeah.
TikTok, like they like joined forces.
Uh-huh.
So now like people are doing stupid skits, but also having music in the background.
Yeah, I heard about it.
And it's really bad, you know. Like I
Is it-
had it, but there's people on there that are really
Well-
funny too. So like I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not knocking the whole app. But-
I've even seen TikTok charts, you know, that I don't really know what that's about.
Yeah. But now there's this new app, Rumble, and it's only been out for a few months, and I'm like kind of one of the original creators on it.
You created it?
No, one of the original like
Content creators. Okay.
yeah. But with Rumble, you just get a little topic, like a prompt, anything like movies, anything like food, TV, clothes, you know, just anything you could think of, music, and yeah, and then you just talk about it. So you don't have to like really think of something to do that, but you could. So you could create your own prompt and just ask a question or do your own little thing, but what I like about it more is that it's filled with a lot of like honest and genuine people, you know, just being themselves.
Well,
and the whole community, since it's new, is
but-
really nice with each other. And everyone's really cool.
That's how it starts out. And
That's
then
what I'm saying.
And then it's just going to be.
I know, and I'm so worried for it. That's why, like, I'm trying to like keep it like the way it is.
Enjoy while it lasts,
I know,
man.
but I'm glad too because I'm like one of the original creators too. So hopefully,
Instagram was like that.
You never know what could happen to me.
Instagram was like that when I first started. And then you know, your uncle and your aunt and your
and your mama's
everybody's on it. And, yeah, exactly. Is on it, and
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention that. Hey man, so like I think we covered a lot tonight.
Yeah.
This was really nice. It was one of my this is only my 4th podcast. I've been meeting. I'm sorry guys. If you are a fan of actually anything, I'm sorry I haven't posted in a lot. It's a little tough to get people to, like everyone's like always busy now.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Vlogs with FITZ. Thank you. And follow James Arlowe and the Primal Daze. They're on Spotify. They're on YouTube. One last thing before we go. What are your plans for the future, like the near future? What's going on?
Well, we have a bunch of singles that we're releasing in the next 5 months, a couple EPs, a couple of music videos,
Any features?
feature films.
No, any like features on like maybe on your songs, like any
Oh no,
just like
not currently. In the future,
that'll
we
be
will.
cool, man.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Check us out.
Let me know.
Check out FITZ.
FITZ's photos or whatever.
FITZ's photos. And absolutely anything.
What'd you say?
Absolutely anything.
Absolutely anything.
Right.
It's actually anything, Mr. Guy.
Actually anything.
This guy, guys. He's on the show. He doesn't even know the name.
This guy who doesn't even know the name of the band in the beginning.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Wait, did I? What did I say?
Yeah.
Oh, because I said what? I said your old band name,
Can you go take a piss and stop shaking like a 3-year-old?
Well,
right
we're
now?
almost done. I gotta
Okay.
finish it.
All
Yeah,
right.
sorry guys, I gotta pee. Anyway, this has been Actually Anything. I'm Sean Fitzpatrick.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, this is absolutely James Arlowe.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Good night. Perfect. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome.